Welcome to Bloom with Tina and Kelsey, the podcast that empowers women to be true to themselves in every aspect of their lives. Are you ready to break free from society's expectations and embrace your true self? Each week, we dive into our own inspiring, powerful personal stories and from incredible women and a few lucky men who have dared to challenge the norm and carve out their own paths to happiness. Here we celebrate courage, resilience, and authenticity as we share the stories of those who have transformed their lives and blooming into the best versions of themselves. Join us. Let's empower one another and spread the seeds of positivity and inspiration. Ready to bloom? Let's get on with the episode.
Welcome back to Bloom. Today we're here with my friend, Jamie Navarre. Hi, Jamie.
Hello.
And I say my friend, but really this is our first time meeting.
It is.
So, I'm so excited to get to know Jamie a little bit today. I reached out to Jamie on Facebook because you are hosting a retreat coming up in September, and I was asking some questions and was looking into that. And originally, we've talked about this Facebook group before, found that, I think, through the 419 Girls group, and that's how we've all kind of connected.
Yes.
Is through that group.
Yep.
I love that group.
I
I do. I really do.
Yeah, it's been really good. And we've met a lot of cool people through that
Yes.
group. So I am so excited to have you here. We posted something in that group about our podcast, and Jamie asked, this is a place I'd love to be able to tell my story.
Oh,
And so here we are.
perfect.
Yes. And right before this, we all went to a yoga class together and got to know each other that way first.
Yes.
And now here we are recording.
We
So
are.
it's perfect. So thank you so much for being here, Jamie.
Yes.
And I'm excited to hear more about how meditation has affected your life
Yes.
and helped you through some really challenging times.
Yes, absolutely. So I actually brought my calendar with me to reference back to all the dates of everything that I've been through the past few years. It's been an emotional ride, and I'm sure I'm probably going to get emotional talking about certain parts of I call it my adventure. I don't regret the thing that I went through. I'm actually happy that I went through it because it made me become who I am today.
Wow.
So, starting off, in 2022, it was July, and I had my very first mammogram. I had it scheduled, and about a week before that, I had developed a lump on my breast. And I thought, okay, it's a week before. I'm not going to say, I'll just wait until I go to the doctors. So I went there, got an ultrasound. They said it was a cyst. Okay, no problem. I've had cysts before. And about 6 months later, it doubled in size.
Oh.
So I thought, whatever this is, we're getting rid of it because it's looking ugly. So I went back in, and prior to all of this happening, I had been dipping into meditation a little bit, just kind of really getting a feel for it, and I really enjoyed it. So I went back in and had another ultrasound done, and the doctor said, you need to go in for a biopsy. And I automatically knew, I really learned to listen to my body.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, it's breast cancer. I know it is. So I went and got the biopsy done. And I had that done, I believe that was on a Wednesday. And Friday, I got a phone call, and they said, come in, we need to see you as soon as possible. So then I knew that was clarification for him. So my sister, she was my rock. Her and I are very close. We went in, and they gave me the results. And of course we cried, and I looked at the nurse and I said, just give us a moment. We need a moment. So my sister and I both looked at each other, and we knew what I was going to do. And that is when my life completely changed. But I knew that I was going to fight this, and I knew I was going to get through it. And with my positive energy that I carry, with the meditation that I was doing, I was going to fight through this. And my cousin, who is a nurse, even told me that to get through this, you're gonna have to keep a positive mindset.
Oh, yeah.
And that's exactly what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been working at that time. And so the doctor wanted to start chemo like right away. And it was hard for me. I tried to, a lot of people were telling me, you can work through the chemo. And I thought, okay, I'm going to try it and see how I am, because everybody's body's different.
Right.
So I went for my first chemo, and my biggest fear as a woman, and it's so hard for me to even talk about it, was losing my hair. It was very hard for me. It was after the very first treatment, probably a few days later. I remember I was in the shower. And I had really long, thick hair, and I had clumps just coming out like this. It kept coming out, and the whole time I'm in the shower, I just kept saying, this is part of the process, just trust the process. And it just kept falling out, and it was very traumatizing for me. And I called my niece, because at that time she was going through beauty school. And I originally had asked my son if and when that time comes, would he do it for me? And he told me he didn't feel comfortable. And I told him that was okay. So I called my niece, and I called her and I told her it's time. So my family and I all went to my sister's house. Everybody met there. The boys all stayed downstairs. We went upstairs. My niece, she donated my hair, which was really cool. She put it back in ponytails, and it was hard. I had to look down the whole time because I didn't want to see how it looked. And she cut my hair, and she just started slowly shaving it. And all I kept thinking was, I don't want to look at myself. Because it was so hard. And my niece was amazing. She cut it, and she was done, and she told me, she said, hey, Jamie, she said, when you're ready, you can look up. And, of course, they're, telling me how beautiful I am. And I actually, underneath, my hair was like jet black. We didn't know how black it was. Yeah. And I looked up, and it kept just telling me how beautiful it was, and I did not feel beautiful at all. I felt ugly, and I didn't like it. And it was really hard. And you would think that going through the chemo and everything was hard. And yes, it was, but that was really hard for me. But I knew that it was going to grow back. And I learned to really like my hair. So back to me working. So I decided to take the short term, because the chemo was just too much. I had a very high dosage, and it just wore me out. And I knew if I was going to fight this thing, I needed to take time for me. And this is when I started going to the park a lot, being with nature a lot, and just meditating, listening to my body. And I would go almost every day and be by myself a lot. Because, you know, you can have the biggest support system in the world when you're going through that. But when you're at home and you're by yourself, your mind just starts going. And there were points where I just wanted to give up because it was so overwhelming and my mind was just going. And I finally, through the meditation, I finally learned to just calm everything down and not get rid of everything, but more of noticing it, bringing it up, and just releasing. There was another point where, I mean, I had my good days. I had most good days than I did bad days. There was one point where I was at home and I had a really, really bad breakdown. And I was on my kitchen floor and I just was crying. And that was a day where I just wanted to give up because I was so tired. And the chemo was just wearing me out. All the medicine you have to take. I was going to the bathroom so much. It was just exhausting.
And you were home by yourself.
I was home. Well, my son, and I tried to hold a lot of stuff in because I didn't want my son to see what I was going through. But he's older and he was very supportive, but he holds it strong. And I was on the kitchen floor and I'm just having a meltdown. And he came in and he's like, he's like, I need you to get it together. I need you to get up off the floor. And I need you to get up. And I looked at him and I said, buddy, I really needed that. I needed that. Because when you're going through something like that, yes, you're going to have your moments. And yes, you're going to get it out. But then you also need that person that's going to be there that says, get your ass up. Get it together because you're going to fight this. And I told him, thank you so much for telling me this because I needed to hear that. And I got up and I just kept fighting. And I kept meditating and just being with nature a lot. And my sister and she would go to all my appointments with me. I think towards the end, maybe she missed a couple, but she went to every single one of my appointments. And that meant so much to me. Her and I had so much fun. I mean, I would be at chemo hooked up to an IV having medicine going. We would be making fun videos. Even on St. Patrick's Day, I asked my nurse because I made a fun video, and I asked my nurse, I said, can I go have a green beer? I really want a green beer. And she said, she said you can, as long as you just have one. And I'm not a big drinker. So I wrapped my hair up because I had no hair, and I wrapped it up, and we went out at my cousin's, and I had a green beer, and then I came back home, and I was so exhausted.
I bet.
I was so exhausted.
Your financial transformation begins here. Your money story affects the way you interact with money every day. Have you taken the time to examine your money stories, to write money stories filled with abundance and possibility? On Saturday, May 2nd, I will be hosting a mindful money class at Ordinary Pioneer. This is 1 hour dedicated to reshaping your money mindset through meditation, journaling, and small group conversations. Use the link in the show notes to register. Hope to see you there.
Within a year and a half, I had 3 major surgeries. So I had a double mastectomy. I had a full hysterectomy because we didn't want. So the type of cancer that I had was called leukemia. It's a very fast, aggressive type of cancer.
I've never even heard of that one. Leafermini?
Leukemia. Yeah. It's I did have the test done of like the hereditary.
Yeah.
And they said that I carry that it is hereditary.
Okay.
From what I've learned, and I've done a lot of research, in my personal opinion, I don't think that's the case, but I'm not a doctor, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I had the full hysterectomy, and then I had implants put in. And every single one of those surgeries, something always went wrong. I was allergic to surgical glue, to surgical tape. We had no idea.
To the surgical glue?
Yes.
Wow.
And when I had my full hysterectomy, my stomach was, it was horrible. It itched. But my mindset was not, if I kept going there, it was going to itch more and more. So my mindset from the meditation, I learned to not go there. And yes, it itched really bad, but I got through it, and they put me on a bunch of antibiotics. And the first surgery was my double mastectomy. And I was very nervous with this surgery because this is the first surgery I've ever had to like really go under with. And I didn't know how it was going to be. I was scared. You know, I was like trying to mentally prepare myself for this. And we went up, my favorite happy place is Muskegon. So we went up there. I got my thoughts together before the surgery. And after the surgery, my arm was hurting really bad. And I kept telling my mom, it just hurts, it hurts. Well, after the surgery, I couldn't move my arms. I had to, so they took my breast away. So with the healing, they had me all wrapped up, and I couldn't like go above my head. I couldn't do any of that. So I had to literally sleep like this for like 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's another mental thing that I had to like, you know, not let it take over me. And I kept telling my mom my arm hurt. And so she helped me take a bath. And I told her, I said, Mom, I need a moment. I need a moment to just lay in bed for me. I got to figure this out. So I laid in my bed and I'm like, God, I need you to help me. I need you to tell me what I need to do with this arm. I don't know what's going on. And I'm just laying there listening. And you have an infection. You need to go to the hospital now. So I'm like, okay, that's what we're doing. So we go to the hospital, and on the way there, I'm like trying to hold on because my body was like trying to shut down on me. I felt like I was going to pass out. It was horrible. So we get there, and I kept telling the nurses, I said, I had an infection, so they did some x-rays or whatever. And the doctor comes in the room and he said, how do you know that you have an infection? I said, because I listen to my body. And he kind of laughed about it. And he goes, you do have an infection. And I said, yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to tell you guys. Nobody's listening to me.
Yeah.
So they took care of all of that. Going through all the itchiness after all the surgeries. There was, I developed another infection after one of my other surgeries, and I was in the hospital for, I think, 7 days. But I was at Flower Hospital, and they have like the most beautiful pond out front. And it's like they knew to put me in this room because every night I got to watch the sunset. And I did videos, and they let me out of my room. I could walk up and down the hall. So I was good. I mentally was trying to keep myself going. So with being overloaded with everything, I had went through all of that, and 2024, I had worked at my job for 9 years, and the big guy came, and my friend and I knew something was up. He doesn't just show up just to show up. And they said that they're closing the doors. They moved to Mexico. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? Because I still had my two surgeries to go through. Yeah. So he pulled me to the side. He said, I know you have your two surgeries. We're gonna take care of you. Don't worry. So I became a part of the closing team. So I was able to have my surgeries, and then when I came back, I helped close everything up.
What kind of work did you do?
I worked in a factory. It was called Egelhoff Controls. We made the thermal expansion valves for the vehicles.
Okay.
And I ordered all of our raw material.
Okay.
And I did a lot of other things too. So drove a forklift.
So not healthcare.
No, not healthcare. And
So this is all new to you.
yeah,
For sure.
Yeah. So I lost my job, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? I didn't know what to do, and I happened to be going through Facebook, and I found to become a certified meditation coach, and that's what I'm doing. So I became certified, and now I do one-on-one meditation coaching sessions, and I also do meditation gatherings. I'm trying to do those more often, once a month, and then I'm also hosting a meditation retreat in September.
Wow.
So
I had no idea. No idea. You have been through so much.
yes. Yes, I
So
know.
much. Wow.
So when you said you had just started learning meditation right before you got the diagnosis, how did you find meditation way back at the beginning to begin with?
I don't remember if I just came across it one day and I just thought, oh, that looks kind of interesting. And then I just kind of dipped my toes into it, and I really enjoyed it. I know at the beginning it was hard for me because I kept hearing all background noises, all the noises around me. But then eventually I learned to just kind of center myself and be in the present moment. So that's kind of how with practice,
Right.
I mean, nobody's going to get it overnight, but.
Right. But the fact that you had kind of picked that up right before you really needed it in order to survive this.
Yes. And yeah, and I told my sister, I said, it's like my body was preparing.
Yeah.
My body knew what was coming, and it was already preparing.
Yeah.
So it was, and I know it might sound bad to some people, but I'm glad that I went through that. I'm glad that I went through all the emotions. I'm glad that I learned how to let go of the emotions, let them come up, cry it out and let it out. Our bodies hold so much that we don't even realize we're holding. I mean, we can walk past somebody and take their energy and not even realize it, and not enough people slow down for themselves.
Yeah. And it sounds like you're able to really learn how to direct your attention. Like the fact that you had so much pain in your abdomen and you were able to just almost block out the pain by directing your attention elsewhere.
Yes. And it was still there. And I knew it was still there, but directing my attention somewhere else helped with the pain, and I knew it was going to go away. And going through all of that, I've learned so much. I mean, I've always been a really healthy eater, but now I'm even more. So like I make my juices. I try to make as much homemade stuff as I possibly can,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Which is hard. That's time consuming.
It is. It is. It really is. It can be. Yeah.
That's time consuming.
I usually, if on a Sunday or the weekend, I will set time aside. Okay, this is what I'm making this weekend, and that's what I'll do.
Yeah. Because you know exactly what is in it.
Yes.
And how much salt is in it, and all
Yes.
All things.
all the things. So
Yeah. So you got certified to teach meditation. Is that the right word to use, to facilitate meditation?
Yeah. Yes.
And tell us again, what are the ways, or where are people able to find you to do meditation with you?
So they can either come to I put a lot of things on my personal page.
Okay.
Just Jamie Navarre.
Yes.
But I do have, so the name of my business is Finding Peace with Jamie.
Okay.
So they can also go there as well on Facebook. And I post different stuff there. I post about my retreat on there. Any meditation gatherings that I do, I'll post it. It's like I said, mostly it's all on my main page.
Yeah.
on
That's
Facebook, you're talking about?
Yes. Yeah. But I just put it on there because that's kind of where I started at. And then I just kind of branched off with other things. And I thought, okay, that's like a lot for me. So I just kind of, I've been trying to stick with my homepage.
Yeah.
But then I just share it to my business page.
Okay.
So the Finding Peace with Jamie.
Okay.
Wow. Thank you so much for reaching out to
Yes.
ask if we could have this conversation.
Yes.
Because I think this is really powerful. I think there are so many people out there who needed to hear this, who needed to know there's something that they can do to make it through the really hard stuff.
Yes.
So, and I'm just enthralled by the magic of it all, you know, the timing of things and the people that were there for you when you needed them, with the energy that you needed them to have this time of your son, because that oftentimes would not be the initial reaction for somebody, but he knew what you needed to hear right then.
Yes.
And how old was he at the time?
He's actually, his birthday's tomorrow.
Okay.
He was 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty young to be the one to say, Mom.
Yeah. he was amazing through it. And I didn't put this in there, and I didn't think about it until just now. So just recently I had to change doctors because my doctor, he moved to Chicago. So I had to change doctors. And so we do the full body scans. I think I'm doing every year now because I'm like out of that time zone. But so we did a full body scan and something showed up on my spine. There was a shadow there. And the doctor told me that we needed to do a biopsy on it. And of course, my mind instantly is going, what, like, okay, hold on here. So I got a little upset on my way home because my sister didn't go with me to this appointment. And I'm driving home and I'm talking to God. I'm like, God, tell me, I know this, there's no way. And I didn't feel the way that I felt when I had the breast cancer.
Yeah.
So I knew, I'm like, it's not breast, or it's not cancer. But there was still that little bug on the back that likes to creep up and say, hey. And I just kept saying, no, you are staying back there. I know it's not. And I actually had a dream, and whatever it was, I don't know, but I felt it deep, and it was almost like God came in and just took it out.
Wow.
Like it was that deep of a dream. And so when I went back to the doctor to get the results, it wasn't cancer. It was just extra bone marrow, pretty much.
Wow.
So, and my sister, of course, made a joke and said, "Oh, it's good to have bone marrow, extra bone marrow. That's good for soups."
Oh my goodness.
So I knew that it wasn't. So, but it was nice to hear the doctor say everything's good.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Whew.
And so now you're completely cancer free.
Correct.
And how long has it been? Since
So,
like 2, 3 years?
like since my diagnosis. So, well, about 3-4 years.
Yeah.
So yeah. One thing I also forgot to share too. So they took out 15 lymph nodes, and in there were cancer cells, but they got it all out. So now, like, I have to, with my arm can get puffed up because your lymphatic system moves everything around.
Yeah.
So when you get lymph nodes taken out, things can get backed up. So like every morning I jump on my rebounder just to kind of get things flowing. I am going to look into one of those vibrating plates. My sister just bought one.
Yeah.
So I am going to look into that, but I have to just kind of play with it sometimes, and because it likes to, get a little puffy on me. So then I just kind of play around with it and
Get intimate.
Lymphatic massage.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It was so nice talking to you.
Yeah.
So nice.
thank you for letting me share my
Yes.
story. It's good to, I like to share my story because it helps other people. I mean, just not even just going through cancer, but just going through anything that they're having a hard time with.
Right. And it gives people hope,
Yes.
and there is something that you can do afterwards.
Yes.
If you are interested in the Return to Calm retreat, this is in Spring Lake, Michigan, September 23rd through 27th. So still a bit of time to sign up.
Yes.
How many spots are available and how many are left?
There are 13 spots available.
Okay.
So we have plenty of room.
Okay.
It does include all the accommodations. It includes all the food. There is a private chef for dinner time, but we will be preparing breakfast and lunch for everybody as well.
Okay.
And then it's all women, ladies only. And then it's at a house. So the house does have an indoor pool. It has a hot tub. It has a sauna.
Nice.
It has an outdoor fireplace. Outdoor fire pit. And then the yard, there's a fantastic place to do meditation there. So we're going to do meditation in the morning. We're going to be journaling in the afternoon. And then down the road from that is a place called PJ Hoffmaster State Park. We're going to do a walking meditation. And that is we're going to walk out, take our shoes off, walk in the sand, and then that's going to take us out to Lake Michigan.
Beautiful.
So,
especially in September.
yes.
Oh,
That'll be awesome.
yes.
So good.
Oh, love it.
And I can just tell, like, doing meditation with somebody like yourself who, yes, you got the training, but also you've profoundly been changed by meditation.
Yes.
And getting to experience that with you will be amazing.
Yes.
So,
thank you.
Yeah.
This
Thank
is
you so
neat.
much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Bloom with Tina and Kelsey. Your support truly means the world to us, and we're so grateful to have you as part of our blossoming community.
We hope you enjoyed this week's conversation and found inspiration in our discussions. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you love what you hear, please consider leaving us a review. Your feedback helps us grow and reach more listeners like you.
Join us next week for another exciting episode filled with insights, laughter, and growth. We can't wait to share it with you.
Keep glowing and see you soon.